Hey guys, my name is Peter, I'm 35, fit and healthy, and I had my hip replaced 3 months ago. Posterior approach using a Mako robot. I know how hard it is mentally and physically when you first find out you need to get your hip replaced, so I wanted to make this video to share with you my experience so you know what to expect and hopefully put your mind at ease a little bit. This video is divided into different sections and I'll put the timestamps to each section below in case you want to skip, but I'm assuming you're going to want to watch it all. Firstly, I'm going to show you what it's like after surgery. Then I'm going to show you 2 things that I recommend that you buy before you have your surgery. Then I'm going to show you the exercises that I was provided with before and after surgery. And lastly, I'm going to go through a list of questions and concerns that I had leading up to surgery. If there's something that you need to ask me, or if there's something I didn't cover, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll get to it as soon as possible. Alright, here we go. I just wanted to make this video ahead of time. My hip replacement is tomorrow morning at 6:30 AM. I'm not really a morning person, so I thought I'd just make this video before bed. I'm having my right hip replaced, even though my left one's pretty bad, but my right one's really bad. So I can't really walk for more than 5 minutes before I start limping and feeling a lot of pain. Tomorrow I'm having a posterior approach. I saw 6 surgeons. 5 of them did anterior and 1 of them did posterior. I decided to go with posterior just because I trust that surgeon more than the rest that I saw. There was another surgeon that was pretty good that did anterior, but yeah, I thought that the surgeon I selected was a bit more realistic than what the other one was. I am feeling a bit anxious at the moment. I don't know what to expect when I wake up. I wouldn't say I'm scared, like I've had 6 operations before, but this one is the only one I'm actually thinking about, like what am I going to feel when I wake up? Am I going to be in pain? What is it going to be like when I'm walking? All those thoughts that go through your head. But I am pretty excited to have it done. I'm just so sick of not being able to walk properly, especially at my age. I'm 35 years old. I'd say I'm really fit and I'm pretty healthy. I'm not sure why this happened. Like, I know other people have it at a younger age, so I guess I could be grateful. I have been active my whole life. I did breakdancing in my youth, and then I did kickboxing for about 10 to 11 years, but yeah, other people do that stuff too and they're fine, so it is what it is. And if you're going through this, just know that it is pretty hard to accept at first, but the sooner you accept it the better, and then you can start planning for hip replacement, which will hopefully allow you to get your life back, and I'll keep you posted about that. Anyways, I'll see if I can make a video tomorrow after I wake up from surgery. So I just woke up from surgery. When I woke up, the pain was about a 5 or a 6, then they gave me some oxy and now it's about a 1 or a 2. I thought it'd be much more painful, to be honest, but yeah, so far it's going well. I can feel that my leg's a bit swollen, like I can't really move it, or I haven't really tried to move it. I've got ice packs stuck to it, but other than that, everything seems to be gone alright. I'm really surprised. I thought it'd be much more painful, to be honest, but yeah, all good, and I'll report back later, I hope. So the PT came and got me to get out of bed. I couldn't lift up my leg to get out of the bed straight away, so I had to just drag it across, and then the PT helped me lift it up and move it off the bed. It feels really strange when I get up onto it. It's like kind of like a numb feeling, but not. I guess it's numb, and not 100% numb. It's really hard to explain, but I don't have much control over it at the moment. But yeah, just a quick update. Today's day 2 of posterior hip replacement. I got up and walked with this walker for about 2 minutes. Pain is probably a 1 or a 2. It's really not painful at all. I'm actually sitting in the chair right now. The only thing I can't do though is lift my leg on and off the bed. I still struggle to lift it up. I've got no muscle power, whatever it is. But other than that, it's all good. I'll keep you posted this afternoon. I'm going for a longer walk with the walker. And tomorrow I start stairs, but that's a video for tomorrow. Okay. Day 2, posterior approach, part B. It's around 6 o'clock now. I went for a walk on the walker again today, and I've been told to do some exercises. I still can't lift my leg up though, so getting in and out of the bed, I need someone to lift it up for me. I had a tube in my hip which was removed. It was used to put in anesthetic, so I don't have that anymore, so the pain's gone up a little bit, but it's still around, I'll say 4 or 5. Yesterday it was around 1 2, so the pain did go up a little bit. And tomorrow I'll be getting on crutches to see if I can walk around, and then I'll be heading home if it's all good. But other than that, I don't really have much else to report. It's actually, I could finally do a normal pee. Like the first day was a struggle, but now I can actually walk to the toilet as well and do my thing. And other than that, everything's going good. I'll do my next video tomorrow. Day 3, posterior approach. This morning I woke up with quite a bit of pain just because I didn't take my pain medication before I slept. Woke up, the pain was about a 7 or 8, and it felt like someone has smashed my hip with a hammer pretty much. But as soon as I took pain medication, I was alright. I was supposed to get discharged today, but my blood pressure is pretty high, so they're going to maybe discharge me tomorrow if everything's going okay. I did move from the walker to crutches, and I did do some of the exercises and some of the steps. Other than that, the pain's still around, I'd say 1 or 2. I still can't lift my leg properly, but I'm slowly getting there. I'll probably be able to do it tomorrow or the day after, I reckon. Besides that, everything's going good, and I'll keep you posted. It's now day 4, posterior approach. It's 4:30 in the morning. I thought I'd make this video just because I'm having trouble sleeping. I haven't had any painkillers for the last 24 hours, but I have had Panadol and Nurofen. I'm not in any pain at all. I can bend my knee now, and that helps me get in and out of bed, so I can get in and out of bed without any assistance. So that's really good. Other than that, I don't really have much else to report. I'm hopefully going home tomorrow, and if anything changes, I'll make another video. But at the moment, I'm just really sick of laying on my bed. I'm really sick of laying on my back. It's getting a bit uncomfortable. That's maybe why I can't sleep, and the beds in the hospital are a bit hard as well. But yeah, if anything changes, I'll keep you posted. Otherwise, I'll make a video once I have another update. Day 5, posterior approach. I don't have any pain, so my pain's 0. I haven't taken any painkillers for two days now. So the last time I took it was day 3 at nighttime. I'm taking paracetamol, aspirin, and Nurofen just as blood thinners, so I don't get blood clots. I'm still wearing my compression socks. I slept in my own bed last night. It's really great to be out of hospital. I thought I'd get a much better sleep though, but yeah, it's really hard to get comfortable. So I think the biggest problem now is sleep rather than the pain. I also woke up really weak and lightheaded, so I think my blood pressure must have been really low again. So basically I woke up at 7:30, I had breakfast, I went for a 1 minute, not even 1 minute, I went for a 10-second stroll and felt really lightheaded, so I got back into bed and had a nap for 2.5 hours. So yeah, sleep's the biggest issue at the moment, I think. The only time I have, like, it's not even pain, it's like just difficult, is when I try to lift my leg up in the bed. It's still the same level as it was in day 3, I guess. I didn't ice it all yesterday, but I am icing today just because I woke up and it felt a little bit swollen. But other than that, it seems like it's all good. And I'll provide another update tomorrow if anything changes. If not, I'll just update you guys when there is some progress. I also just wanted to make this video just to mention that physios and what I've read online always focus on getting your legs really strong before surgery. Like, I worked my legs really hard for a year before surgery, and the right one, which was replaced, still feels like a log. Like, I'm not sure how much of a difference it does make, but I'm guessing it does since they recommend that. But I just wanted to mention that what I've noticed is me doing pull-ups and tricep dips has really helped me get in and out of bed and walk my crutches. So those two exercises were really important for me because I can lift my body weight, and yeah, I can get around much easier than I would have if I wasn't able to lift my body weight. So if you're preparing for surgery, I would highly recommend you start doing those two exercises as well, or just any exercise to be able to somehow carry your body weight a bit so you can move around on the bed, walk on crutches easier, and hopefully be able to lift yourself into bed easier as well. Day 7, posterior approach. I'm feeling much better. I'm actually off all medicines except for aspirin, so I did stop Nurofen and I did stop paracetamol. I'm taking aspirin just for blood clots, and I'm wearing the compression socks still. I need to take the aspirin and leave the compression socks on for 4 weeks in total. I have zero pain, but I do get some small aches in the groin and the knee, but they're not constant, so they do go away pretty quickly. It's just here and there, just a few little aches, but that's it. I still can't get the leg up onto the bed, but I can get in much easier by hooking it underneath and then lifting it up. It's much easier than I was able to do it before, so there's been massive improvements. I can also put more weight on my leg. I actually just tried to walk with one crutch just before, and I was able to do it. So I can pretty much put up my full weight on my surgery leg, but I still keep my other crutch in my other hand just to make sure I don't fall. But yeah, massive improvements in day 7. The only annoying thing at the moment is the toilet razor. So that's my biggest concern at the moment, because I don't fit in it that well, because the width of it isn't as large as it should be for me. I just feel a bit squished when I'm trying to do my business, and I did create a post about this in the Facebook group, and I did get some pretty good ideas and solutions. I probably won't go ahead and buy another razor just because I don't think I'll need it for much longer, but it's something to think about if you are thinking about buying a toilet razor. I'll put the link to the post below this video. Other than that, the second most annoying thing is at the moment is dropping the soap in the shower. So after a major surgery, I guess having those two problems be at the top, I guess that's a good thing to have. But other than that, everything's going well, and I'll keep you posted. But yeah, day 7 is a massive improvement. Oh, and I'm also sleeping much better. So I do wake up in the middle of the night like 2 or 3 times, but I do get much better sleep. I'm also pretty tired during the day sometimes. So yesterday, for example, I did nap twice, and I don't usually nap at all. But yeah, other than that, everything's going good, and I'll keep you updated. I just wanted to make this quick video to describe the pain you get after surgery. So if you haven't had your surgery yet, you're probably a bit anxious and wondering what it's going to feel like afterwards. At the moment, I'm day 8. I haven't taken any painkillers. I don't take any other medicine besides aspirin, just for blood clots. And last night I did feel a little bit of pain, and it felt like it was just a little bit swollen. It was achy and bruised. So after I took Nurofen, that went away and I was able to sleep right away. But basically what it feels like is if you were running on a slippery surface and you fell on your bum pretty hard, you get that achy bruise feeling. So that's pretty much what it feels like. But at day 3, when I didn't take my painkillers at night time just because I fell asleep, it felt the same as that, but much more intensified. So basically it felt like someone had hit my hip or my leg with a baseball bat really hard, and it was really bruised and achy and very swollen. So that's pretty much the type of pain you should expect after surgery. Day 11, posterior approach. I can now lift my operated leg onto the bed without any support. I still take 1 Nurofen before I sleep, just because the surgery area does feel a bit swollen. So that helps me sleep through the night. I got rid of the toilet razor 2 days ago, and I use one of my crutches to help me lower myself down to the toilet, and then I keep my operated leg straight. Well, I straighten it out a little bit. That was one of the advice I got from the Facebook group, so thank you for whoever said that. I'm also able to walk with 1 crutch now for a bit, and then once I get tired/sore, I change back to 2 and continue my walking. The aches on my knees and groin area have gone, but after walking or during walking, my ankle gets a bit sore now. The ankle on my operated leg, I mean. But other than that, everything seems to be going fine, and I'll give you another update once I have one. Day 20, posterior approach. I just want to start off by saying on day 17 I went to the surgeon and he took off the wound dressing. So I have 3 small holes on the lowest area of my stomach from the Mako robot, and then I have a pretty long scar on the side of my bum. He told me that I no longer needed to put a pillow between my legs when I slept, but I continued to do that until yesterday just because it felt more comfortable with the pillow between my legs. Last night I was able to lay on my stomach and side properly, so I got a much better sleep. Before that I was just constantly laying on my back, which ended up being uncomfortable. So being able to change positions makes a big difference for me, and I'm really happy to be able to do that. My surgical hip is still very swollen, so I don't lay directly onto it. I did wake up once last night because I was feeling a bit uncomfortable, but it's probably the best sleep I've had so far. I'm no longer taking naps during the day, but I am a bit tired, but not tired enough to take a nap. I was able to start working today. At the moment I'm freelancing from home, but I no longer have any brain fog, so I was able to focus and concentrate as normal. I did about 5 to 6 hours of coding today, but I did get up and walk here and then because it does get uncomfortable sitting all the time. I'm sitting on a pillow and I find myself mainly leaning towards the non-surgical side because my surgical hip does feel like it's still got a golf ball in there. It's just really swollen. If I was rushing to get back to a full-time job, I would probably be able to go back starting today if they allowed me to work from home. Though I'm personally going to give it about 2 more weeks just because I don't want to push myself and I want to focus on recovering. Yesterday I noticed I was able to walk short distances without my crutches, though I do waddle a little bit. I'm still using them to get around when I have most of the time, and I am still using them when I'm doing my walking exercises, but knowing that I don't need them 100% of the time and that I can waddle myself around makes a big difference, because if I do drop a crutch, for example, I no longer need to wait there for someone to help me. I can just go get my grabber and pick it up. And it also makes things around the kitchen much easier. I've also started walking outside my home. I've been walking inside my house up until now, so it was nice to get outside. My house is on a hill with a lot of steps, which is why I've been mainly staying inside. But yeah, I'm feeling more confident and more comfortable going outside now. Lastly, sitting on the toilet is getting a little bit easier, but it's still nowhere near as back to normal. I still have to carefully lower myself onto the seat, get comfortable, and then straighten my leg out. Other than that, I think everything's going fine, and I'll give you another update once I have one. Day 27, posterior approach. I moved back to my apartment yesterday as I'm well enough to completely look after myself. There are 35 steps to get up to my apartment, and I can walk them one by one multiple times a day without any issues. I went to see the physio on day 21 and he gave me some really good exercises which helped a lot. People say that all you need to do is walk, but I noticed a massive difference after doing the exercises for about 3 to 4 days. I do them 2 times a day, and I also walk 2 times a day. I walk for about 30 minutes, but sometimes I do go for longer. The other day I did go to Costco though, and I walked around for about an hour, and that was too much. I didn't have any pain the next day. It's just that my leg got really sore at the time and I needed to go sit down. On day 21, from day 21, I have been walking around the house with no crutches at all. At the moment, I can also walk outside without any crutches for about 8 minutes, and then I start to waddle. And that's when I start using one crutch for the rest of the walk, just so I don't get any bad walking habits. Sitting on the toilet is much easier, but I still use one crutch to lower myself down. I still can't reach my feet to put my socks and shoes on without any aids. I started doing full-time work days without any issues. Sleeping is getting a lot easier. I can now lay completely flat on my back without any issues, but I'm not sure if it's because the bed's softer now or not. The bed I have now is currently on the floor, and I don't have any problems getting down to it or up from it. I do wake up about once a day though from discomfort, and I still put a pillow in between my legs when I want to sleep on the side. Not because I have to, but because it's more comfortable. I can also lay completely flat on my stomach. Before I wasn't able to do that because there was a little bit of discomfort in the very top area of my groin. That is completely gone now. The discomfort was also there when I was rubbing that area in the shower, and that's no longer the case. Having a shower is pretty much back to normal, except for the fact that I can't bend over to wash my legs and feet. I still have restrictions for about 2 more weeks. The only problem I have now is that my operated leg has no pain when walking, and it feels so stable. But my left hip has a little bit of pain. I know that I also need to get that hip done eventually, but I'm not sure if it's at the moment. But at the moment, I'm not sure if it's because it's gotten worse rapidly, or if it just feels worse because my right feels so good, or maybe it's just been strained a lot and just needs some rest. I'm not sure, but we'll see, I guess. Day 42, posterior approach. It's now been 6 weeks since surgery, but before I start speaking about today, I'm going to go back to day 27. On day 27, I started walking down the stairs using one leg per step instead of doing each step one by one or step by step. On day 36, I started walking like that up the stairs whilst holding onto the handrail. On this day, I walked around 30 minutes without a limp, waddle or aid. I did take my crutches with me just in case. I was able to just reach my foot in the shower to give it a wash. I didn't bend over completely, and I had to bring one of my legs up to help wash it. So I didn't bend over completely to wash it. I brought my leg up and scrubbed it that way. I was able to put my pants and underwear on without any aids. I was still using a sock aid and a shoehorn to put my shoes on, but it is only because it made it a lot easier. I could have done it without them, but it was an uncomfortable struggle, so I continued to use them until today. On day 39, I was walking around great. It was cold and wet, so I power walked without my crutches for about 30 minutes. I could have kept going, but it started to rain. My leg was feeling perfect though. Even the left one, which was giving me some pain in the past, was feeling much better. I didn't have that groin pain, just some thigh stiffness, but my right, which is the one which was replaced, was absolutely fine. At this stage, I understood how amazing the surgery was or is. It's been 3 years since I have been able to walk around pain-free, and I had forgotten what it's like to live life without any pain. So fast forward to today, day 42 or 6 weeks. I've now been cleared from all restrictions, and I'm also able to drive. My legs are feeling a lot better, and I did walk for over an hour yesterday without any pain. I could have gone for longer, but yeah, I just reached my destination. I have stored away my crutches, so that's a great thing. I was really happy to store them away. I still have severe arthritis on my left though, but it only really hurts when I bring it up to my chest, so if I'm putting on socks, for example. My surgery leg is still a little bit swollen, but it doesn't bother me at all. I still can't lay, well, I still don't lay on it directly. I'm not sure if it's a subconscious thing or if it's just uncomfortable, but at this point in time, I don't do that. The only other thing that I can't do right now is fully reach my feet, but I have noticed that my flexibility is coming back really fast, day by day. And this is the end of my post-surgery journey, so I won't be making another video for a while. I'll probably make one in the future when I do go back to high-level activities. But for now, I wish you all the best and good luck with your procedure. If you are scared of getting surgery done, don't be. Your thoughts are much worse than what the surgery is really like, and it's only the first 2 weeks that is really a challenge. And if you have someone there looking after you, it's really not that bad. But yeah, good luck, and shall speak soon.
Break your sweat, not the bank. When you mix and match flights for the best value return deal at Webjet.
This tonight?
Yeah.
This?
So after this boxing session, I decided to go see the physio so I can get more exercises to strengthen my legs. And I wanted to ask him if I could go hard again at boxing, and he said it was fine. So the next day I brought my boxing gloves, and I went about 90% on the bag, absolutely demolished it. But after that, my groin area was feeling really strange for the next 3 to 4 days. It was a little bit achy, but the feeling was more like that feeling you get when you wash the groin area after you had surgery, that weird yucky feeling. So I've decided to hold off on going hard for the next 3 months probably, just so I can give the chance for my bone to grow around the cup area. This is what I mean by the bone growing onto the cup area. The cup has a rough surface where the bone grows onto. This is the exact cup that I have. I have an updated version of this extra stem. There are usually 2 types of stems that are used. One that has a smooth surface, which the surgeon cements into your bone, and the other has a rough surface, which your bone grows onto. They both work great, and I can't really advise which one is better, just trust your surgeon. What I can say though is that for weak bones, the smooth surface one is usually better, and it allows the surgeon to precisely place it into your bone. With the rough surface stem, you need to trust that your bone grows onto it properly, which it does in most cases. I also got ceramic on polyethylene, which means ceramic head and polyethylene liner. The other very popular option is ceramic on ceramic. With ceramic on ceramic, there is a small chance of it squeaking, which is loud enough for people to hear. You can find examples of this on YouTube. However, some surgeons say that it lasts longer than ceramic on polyethylene. But from the medical journals that I read, there wasn't a clear indication on which one lasts longer, as different studies show different results. There are also many different factors that come into play, so I guess this is another one of those, just trust your surgeon. My brother is actually getting a ceramic on ceramic with an anterior approach. I got ceramic on polyethylene with a posterior approach, so I guess in the very far future we can compare which one was better. Anyways, I also wanted to mention here that if you are young like me and most likely need a revision or two in your lifetime, it doesn't mean that the whole thing gets redone. The surgeon might only need to replace the head or the liner, for example. Here's what my x-ray looks like. Very clean. While I'm here, I'll explain to you how to read your x-ray to check for osteoarthritis. My left hip is pretty bad, so it's not a great example, but there should be this gap all the way around. See on this side how there isn't much of a gap? It's pretty much bone on bone, which is why it hurts. Also, just FYI, you don't need to get an MRI scan, but if you do want to get one, in Australia, you can get one for free if a surgeon refers you. Otherwise, it's about $300 at this point in time. Okay, now let's talk scars. I have two scars. One is on the side of my stomach, which is from the Mako robot. Here's what it looks like at 3 months. The other one is on the side of my bum, which is about 13 centimeters long. This is a posterior approach scar. If you go for an anterior approach, it will be located more at the front. So if you're a lady who likes to wear bikinis, then you might want to think about where you want your scar to be. People recommend buying all sorts of things before your surgery, but all you really need is a shoehorn, grabber, and a sock assistant. If you don't have or want someone to constantly help you put your socks on. I needed to use the sock assistant for more than 6 weeks. I can't remember exactly how long, but you'll definitely make good use of it. If you're living alone, you should get 2 grabbers, just in case you drop one. I got my grabber from Amazon and the sock aid from eBay. I'll leave the links to these in the description below, in case you want to get the exact same that I did. The grabber is pretty self-explanatory, but let me show you how the sock assistant works. So this is the sock upper, it looks like this. You just put the sock on. There's a hole there for your foot. And then, just do this. And that's it. Alright, so let's go through the exercises that I was told to do. Yours might be different, but I wanted to share these with you because before I got my surgery, I was wondering what type of exercises people needed to do. Pre-surgery, I was specifically given these exercises to do by the physio. The first one was a wall squat with a ball between my legs. And if that got too easy, I would use some sort of weight. The next one was a bridge. Which then got upgraded to a single leg bridge. Although these were not specifically given to me, I would also do the stationary bike, seated hamstring curls, and knee extensions. Also, these two videos that I used are from an app called Physio app, which some physios use to assign you exercises. It's really good. These are the exercises that I was told to do in hospital when I was able to. Next, I'm going to show you the exercises that the hospital told me to do once I was discharged. I started off with once a day and then moved to twice a day. This included walking for 10 minutes. I can't remember exactly how many reps, but I think it was between 6 to 10 per each exercise. I just want to clarify that these were done at home and not at a gym. These are the exercises that I was given after 6 weeks by the physio my surgeon recommended. I've just got this thing. You could use anything, but I had this at home and I just tied a knot here so it doesn't go past 90 degrees. So that's what I do. It's now been 3 months and I've started doing this for my other hip to hopefully strengthen it up a bit. I wanted to point out though that laying on my operated hip as I am in this video is not very comfortable on a hard floor, even on carpet, and also not on a gym mat. It seems to still be a bit swollen at 3 months, so when I lay on it like this, I need to shift my weight so I'm not directly on where I had surgery. On a firm bed mattress though, it's fine. At 3 months, I have been assigned these exercises: seated hamstring curl, knee extensions, leg press. I use a different machine at gym, but they both do the same thing. Waiter's bell with a stick, and a box squat with an 8 kg weight. The most common question is, should I get a posterior approach or an anterior approach? The best answer to this question is just to find a good surgeon that you trust, and make sure you see multiple surgeons. I personally saw 6. Yes, it's expensive, but this is a major surgery, so you want to get it right the first time and avoid complications. If you're in Melbourne, Australia, I personally used Dirk van Bavel for my posterior approach, but I also really liked Justin Hunt, who does interior, and he's doing my brother's hip replacement. I will add their details in the description below. I also want to point out that some of the surgeons with the highest Google reviews would be at the bottom of my list, so don't depend only on Google reviews. When I need to get my left done, I am going to use the same surgeon, as I know what to expect and because I was happy with their experience. Here's some info about the two approaches anyway. With anterior approach, there are no restrictions. With posterior, you can't bend more than 90 degrees for the first 6 weeks as it may dislocate. They say anterior approach has a much faster recovery time because they don't cut through the muscles, but I thought I recovered pretty fast. At 6 weeks, recovery is the same for both approaches though. With posterior, the surgeon has a much better view of the hip joint. With anterior, the hip joint is much less exposed, and as a result, there is a higher chance of your femur fracturing or having some sort of nerve damage, which just makes the area numb, but this sometimes goes away. But like I said, just find a good surgeon and you won't have to worry about anything. Injections. This is not really a question, but I wanted to speak about it as I think it's important to know. You may be offered a corticosteroid injection for pain relief, but just know that they can increase cartilage loss, and there is a lot of medical studies that prove this. These can be found on Google. There is also an injection called Durolin, which is an hyaluronic acid injection. This is an injection that I first tried when I found out I had to get my hip replaced. It cost about $600 and I was told it will last a few months. It did absolutely nothing for me except give me the worst pain I have ever experienced in my life. The pain was much worse than the actual hip replacement and I couldn't walk for 2 weeks. I'll leave a link to its reviews in the description below, but if you are offered it, I highly recommend you don't take it. Stem cells. I had a look into this and I couldn't find enough real evidence that it would work on severe hip osteoarthritis. It may be something that will be able to help in the future, but right now, I don't think it's there yet. Hip resurfacing. I couldn't find a surgeon in Melbourne, Australia who does hip resurfacing. I was told by multiple surgeons that there isn't enough data around it and it's risky, but it might be something that you want to explore. I mention this because John Wayne Parr, who is a world champion Muay Thai fighter, fought in a professional fight after having it. I'll leave a link to the video in the description below, but it's pretty amazing how he can move after this surgery. How long will the hip replacement last? This is a question no one really knows the answer to. They say about 20 years, but it could be more or less. Keep in mind that the data shown in studies is from long ago, and technology has continued to advance. How many revisions can I have? This really depends on what needs to get replaced, but I wouldn't worry about not being able to do multiple revisions within your lifetime. Will I be able to cross my legs? I can do this now at 3 months, although it's a little stiff. Can I run? You will be able to run, and people run marathons with a hip replacement. Whether it wears it down faster or not is arguable, seeing as people who run are usually lighter and healthier than those who don't. But if it's something you love doing, then you will be able to do it. The whole point of the hip replacement is to get your life back. You will definitely be able to run to catch the train, for example. Martial arts. I personally wouldn't kick the bag again, and I will make an effort to look after it. I could if I wanted to, but the impact of a roundhouse kick, for example, is so hard that it's definitely not good for the hip. If you really wanted to, you could go very soft and just tap it though, I guess. BJJ is not really recommended because you put your legs in all strange positions and therefore your hip might dislocate. Permanent restrictions. Everybody's body is different, but for me, it's not recommended that I bring my leg towards my chest. It's not something I do anyway. My surgeon also said that I shouldn't bounce on trampolines. Very high impact sports are also not recommended. I know it's really hard to give up something you really love. I personally love Muay Thai and smashing the bag as hard as I could, but I really like being able to walk better. If you do high impact sports or extreme sports and need to give it up, then know that you are not alone. In saying that, it's not that you can't do it, it's just not recommended so the replacement can last longer. It doesn't mean that the hip replacement will break on first impact. They are really strong. Can I still be strong? Definitely. I've seen multiple videos of people at gym, both male and females, after their replacement, and they are absolute machines. I could have never guessed that they had a replacement. People can't even tell that I've had a replacement at 3 months. I'm going to show you some videos of some of these people. More of these videos can be found in the Facebook groups, which I'm going to mention at the end. Can I bend over and touch my toes? I can do this now at 3 months. I've also seen some girls that do yoga, and they are pretty flexible, more than I was even before the surgery. When do I know I need a revision? You will start to feel pain in the hip again. Should I do both hips at once? If you need both hips done, ideally you should get them done one at a time, because it will be more comfortable being able to lay on one hip, rather than being stuck on your back. Do I need a hospital physio to come to my house? I personally didn't need them to come to my house. I simply did the exercises that I was given and then went and saw a non-hospital physio that was recommended by my surgeon to get more exercises, which I thought helped me recover much faster than I would without them. So this is the end of the video. I hope I covered some questions that you may have had. If not, leave a comment below and I'll answer as soon as possible. Also, leave a comment and tell me what you thought of the video. It took a lot of time to create this, and I'm really hoping it has helped you. Also, don't forget to click the like button. And lastly, there is this amazing Facebook group filled with people just like us, and I'll leave a link to it in the description below. I recommend that you join it to see other people's experiences and to ask any questions you may have. It's really nice to know that there are others just like you. The group is managed by a very knowledgeable PT named Denise, who has had both her hips replaced and has done a lot of hiking. There's also another Facebook group called Hip Replacement Forum for Active and Young People that you may want to join, and I'll add the link to it in the description below as well. Anyways, all the best, and I might make more videos in the future if this one was helpful.